Lynch, lives, life, whatever. Messo simple, messo simple, more 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 simple, then this is the last month pattern, 18 days to show you the 40 million, 9 in the 1979 years, in fact in the rest of the month as well as 17 days it will be his 20th birthday, and before we became 5 as a sum of 5 plus 5 as 10, also the 0 and the 80th birthday. Questo da video it's January 10th day of this January 2026, also the day of this year 2026, and it's Saturday evening. Today totally climate but this is mid sky. It's an adjective means clear the alternative in the scatter alternative with the clouds, vice versa. Yes, and vabbè, it also wind heavy and cold, but yes, this meter also seems to now. It's between early data from 14 and 47 years. 26 Fahrenheit 17 Celsius means that it's really cold, like the period facts cold is adjective for the winter period, so support for years ago. Yes, because the effect the channel for years Massachusetts 19 was fact ready per campo for years with the course last summer as sono noi che cambi il telefono di me prendo la summer fin poi was fact ready for campo for years with the course last autumn. Now also for the winter we came furious with the course because we overcome them practically 12 days ago. Yes, 13 days ago, and precisely 16 or 4 at 3 p.m. in Italy. But yes, perhaps some non remember if Carbonio or Carbonio should be supposed to be. I'm sure to very see 3 things. For example, so si è similmente proposto, cioè che io 108 milioni si mettono per for me, and then also in collaboration for the spring summer Newton si fa capo spring soft for summer adjective for the autumn once again adjective soft sono state in genere for the season superior. Casi gadget as a garden green set il mio sta figurata absolutely incomplete. Orbetta no, this period no, because it's winter it's cold, but when I see the sense absolutely incomplete, I'm referring to me for the fact that perhaps more yes in these seasons more this period for the fact that since some years ago I always use or follow two practices, in particular two practices through which I try to fight the cold, through which I also try to fight the cold, and as per usual in all period, always in the winter period, winter weather period, I always said another comment which I can explain what is practice. In this case, first part of the first comment with an asterisk. So if someone is interested, if you are interested, see one. So if you are interested, see one in the comment section. I bet this adesso should be this part, repeat the first part of the first comment to know what are the practice where non forse più veramente fin conto se quello veramente fin conto fin 90-95% difficult ovvero in genere in some for me what's good still what scatto sorts in genere I don't know finché si sembra che just for me it's good tutto compito fa che non bisogna scoffino su di sé. Quindi finché 3 persone si servizi si figura si dice si figura si chiama 6 finance 17 Celsius l'importante è che stiamo sfidando ci vedi se fuori vedi sa. Cortine sono quando se cortine in genere ci siamo ripetiti tante ci usiamo per triste supposto perché non sono si nota se ripetere sky, bit richiesti pratica in middle, si sort of opening clear sunny day alternative with clouds. According to consider what I read, but considering fact yesterday, according to consider what I read, considering my sensation, I think like yesterday, it's possible that I'm most sure that I read but maybe not totally. Most relevant I think totally, and also that material, if not a few months, read few hours ago was reading, also tonight, and evening also, yes, mistaken also, and evening yesterday. So let's see what happens. I think yes. Għata su għizin dobi ġuħenti maġġijan su Wizard, s-sirgħu su għizin nifti klijat s-kam s-kif berikjam. Bad the well. Someone tell perhaps I want but better bad the well. Ma fatt bad the max ma tosta little wood. So si jisra mi tkun wood new curtain with white curtain with influence long class mix between plants this new curtain since last time November 1 because magari mi giusto la barfa in particular of the previous the curtain with the beautiful printer bench to keep the thing the passage from the previous new curtain and also things related to remate si ma come se un po' ma section to show me the point della festival in 24 essa galleria da set quella from the shot near anime or see it quella read from the shot near anime if you guys the green flowers, the longer flowers are mixed with the plants. Or if not from a shoulder instead of shot, pratica is if not even better, should better the shot pratica is a shot at the first part of the video which Perugia should you the weather scatter si andiamo sul window. Also from the shot a shot similar to classical shot film non è terzo con le preus che visual che cortino per me sembra più sopra da cortine calore cortine in front remember exactly sure di calore cortine si stili di colore meglio vicino one day sono in metà sciuci in gitto e shot so easy effect fact of one day set we shoot the loss one day ma non guarda lì si effect si measure nel si vede il spiccio sense si usa di use for the cortine per cortine che with the visual painter with branches also in case for the first structure color cortine also in case I don't remember exactly easy and also in case I also and special sentence for the cortine sorry but repeat expression also in case for 5 times yes and this little speech sentence is this but also always better visible for me it's utility green shot at this point is immediate called the general shot. As regarding lo studio to optimism and optimistic optimism in first days of October, but this is important because it's important that also there is optimism and also this and now I see read little picture sentence and now I see read little picture sentence I use for the curtain also for it because also value also for it so I repeat once again but also and always better visible for me it's utility green this shot at this point is me or gen shot. And finally, from a mythical keyboard, NGX 640, APG 625, also in the case of Mirror Generation. Getting all the people of trying reports getting it over also by my sister. Also myself, plus my skills, and finally, I hope you will get breakfast. Dates 3-8 in general also massive as I explained since last days of December 2025 late for my hours from one late from another because from another in ECPO it's kind of sort of normality for me or type of normality Es una metà mess explain better easy. It's late hours, the same time late, but not late hours, my hours. It's important that you are still fare con regola reaction sembra that to start to make the breakfast fienten is ambient. I start to eat or to drink the milk exactly at fienten and in parte non meritava il tuo su essere tu dio essere so finché 3 sembrano tutti su straccio. Ora tu ripeto, ora di little secretary, little from 1 liter, little from us, but not from 1 liter. They're just only just included for 1447 millions. L'important thing is show same that in some way also be 400 so a million. And as we always see, breakfast on most building as for absolutely. Since I think it should be almost 1 year, perhaps also more than 1 year. I also lost the count of the single effect of X-ray of show me reason on Friday, but the 5 beautiful fight, red, black, and also white reason. And yes, but this should be time in a period. I promise you to 1 day or 1 time, so any time check better, better, precis day, rate which has started to these things, also middle this speech, or middle this speech. For some shots of listening to the joke, because we're joking, but almost 1 year, but some was new for the other biscuits, fact that I'm beautiful combos with and other biscuits are my favorite. In fact, there are many beautiful combos with beautiful biscuits. Yes, I think at one invest not the status are the biscuits, the chocolate chip cookies, or the cookies, the chips, chocolate chips. Se non ti mi seguono, adesso fai tutto biscuits, mi stai Lynch. But in particular, I think through this red and this was what about the milk fact 3 shot like the coffee music. Those is quick shock in fact isn't that just shot like with videos. There are shot if since I think class 6-7 months so si chiesa lo sto conto should be the Peters and time check but as you was no one is quick so to finish it now there is one thing because we brought it once again I think 165 6 days si chiesa lo sto conto di stanti video assolutamente check but so since that moment the iPad insert dit once again in mix very good news and we need also the fact that news breakfast was a bomb has been in particular mega bomb and if so che la spirito gioco so del combatto Mastonia so of course I'm living to questa time so that video and if in some way also can say the toll io con la breakfast was a mega bomb so one thing is about CS fact in federal BC sta la con da Italian series for me sa azione più position because altre viste più position famiglia nella bamma Dark Chocolate, Circle Chocolate Italian Series. In fact, always I do recommend them to you because they are really super bad. Adesso, tomorrow suppose for tonight, until tomorrow, but quello che l'è, ma ora we see.